All right, let's begin. Vrindavan ramya-sthāna dibya-cińtāmani dhāma ratana mandira manohara abrita kalindini re rajhamsa keli kore tahe shobhe kanaka kamala तारामध्ये हेमपीठ अष्टदलबेष्टित अष्टदले प्रधान नायिका तारामध्ये रत्नासने बोसियाचे दुई जने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी राधिका ओ रूप लावण्य राशी आम्ही या पोळीचे खाशी हास्य परिहास संभासने नरोत्तम दासा कोय नित्य लीला सुख मोय सदाई स्फुरक मोरा mane. We are on Chaitanya Charitamrita, Volume 5, Chapter 22, the process of devotional service. Mahaprabhu is talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami, and he's explaining. Yesterday he explained what is Krishna and everything. And in the same conversation, he's going to explain what is the process of Bhakti. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Tam Karunaranavam Kalav Api Atigudheyam Bhakti-ryena Prakashita. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in transcendental ocean of transcendental mercy. Although the subject matter of Bhakti Yoga is confidential, he has nonetheless manifested it very nicely, even in this age of Kali Yuga. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan, I have already described one's relationship with Krishna in various ways. This is the subject matter of all the Vedas. Krishna is the center of all activities. Now, I will speak to you about the characteristics of Bhakti, by which one can attain the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and his seva. Krishna Bhakti Abhideya Sarva Shastrikaya Ateva Muni Gana Kariyache Nishchaya. He said, a human being's activities should be all dovetailed around devotional service to Sri Krishna. He should be the center of everything. This is the verdict of all the Vedic literatures. Krishna is the non-dual absolute truth. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although he is one, he maintains different personal expansions and his energies as his pastimes. Krishna expands himself into many, many forms. Some of them are personal expansions and some of them are separate expansions, both in the spiritual and material world. He expands as the quadruple Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and then there are other expansions in the Vaikuntha planet. We have heard about all this in the previous chapters. Now he is going to say, the living entities are divided into two categories. One, who are always liberated, Nitya Mukta, and one who are eternally conditioned, Nitya Samsara. Say Vibhinnam Shajiva Duita Prakara, Eka Nitya Mukta, Eka Nitya Samsara, Nitya Mukta, Nitya Krishna Charane Unmukha, Krishna Parishada Nama Bunje Seva Sukha, Nitya Bandhas Krishna Haite, Nitya Bahirmukha, Nitya Samsara Bunje Narakadi Dukha. So two types of living beings are there. One who is always engrossed in Shri Krishna. So the one who is while living is always engrossed in Shri Krishna he is liberated and leaves the body, he'll go to Krishna's lok, he's liberated. And the other type of living being is not interested in Krishna at all. Their mind is only stuck in the samsara, in the world. So these are always eternally conditioned. No matter what you tell them, it's very difficult for them to surrender to Krishna. So they are always, Mahaprabhu says, this kind of devotees, they are always subjected to material tribulations, and it is brought about by their different bodily forms in hellish conditions. Due to his being opposed to Krishna, the conditioned soul is punished by Maya. Of course, the entire Gita, Bhagavan has spoken so many things to come out of this material cycle. And we can very easily leave aside all the thoughts. Bhagavan said, just surrender unto me. And in this age of Kali, just chant my name. Whether you're doing faultily, whether you're doing, doesn't matter. My name is the most powerful. Me and my name are not different. If somebody just trusts, me and the Guru are not different. If the Guru has said, given you the name, chant it sincerely. That's about it. That's all you have to do in life. Nothing else. Don't complicate it. Just trust. If somebody does that, they'll be free. But if somebody does not do that, then they keep coming in this middle cycle again and again, again. Kama krodher dasahaya tari lathi khaya brahmite yadi sadhu vaidya paya Tanda upadesha mantre pichachi palaya Krishna bhakti paya tabe Krishna nikat aya. He says, due to his being opposed to Krishna and his teachings, the conditioned soul is punished by the witch of external energy, Maya, and he is thus ready to suffer the threefold miseries brought about to the body, the mind, and the inimical behavior of other living entities and natural disturbances caused by the gods. In this way, the conditioned soul becomes the servant of lusty desires. And when these desires are not fulfilled, he becomes the servant of anger and continues to be kicked by Maya. Wandering and wandering, millions of births, rebirths, many universes. If he is lucky, in one birth, he'll become a human. And in that birth, if he's more lucky, he'll get the association of a sadhu vaidya. Means a sadhu means a saintly person who will act like a physician. What does the physician do? You have some disease, you go to him, and the physician will take away the disease. So we have got the disease of coming back to this world again and again. Getting so many kicks, yet coming back again. And if we want to free out of it, we have to go to such a person who can give us some solution. And that person is the physician. And that physician is the sadhu. He says, and then that sadhu will instruct you and give some mantras by which you can come out of this witch of it, the external energy. Maya is like a witch. She's holding you. But if the sadhu Vaidya, the physician sadhu, if he gives you a mantra, by the power of that mantra, you can come out of the clutches of this Maya witch. The conditioned soul then gets a chance to develop his devotional service. And in this way, he can come nearer and nearer to Krishna. Krishna Bhakti Haya Bhideya Pradhana Bhakti Mukha Niriksha Karma Yoga Jnana. Devotional service to Krishna is the chief function of all living entities. There are different methods for achieving liberation: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. But all are dependent on Bhakti Yoga. He says, "A sab sadhanera ati tuchcha bala karma yoga, jnana yoga is it's good, but it is low. Krishna bhakti vinataha dite nare phala." If there is no Krishna bhakti, this will not give you the desired results. When pure knowledge, he quoted a shloka from Bhagavatam, and it means that when pure knowledge is beyond all material affinity, but is not dedicated to Sri Krishna, it does not appear very beautiful, although this is knowledge without a material change. What then is the use of all these fruitive activities which are naturally painful in the beginning and transient by nature if they are not utilized for the service of the Lord? Those who perform severe austerities and penances, those who give away their possessions out of charity, those who are very famous for their auspicious activity, and those who are engaged in meditation and mental speculation, even those who are expert in reciting the Vedic mantras are not able to obtain any auspicious results. Although they are engaged in auspicious activities. Why? Because they are not dedicating their whatever activities they are doing. If they are not dedicating it to Supreme Personality of Godhead, then these are all sham eva hi kevalam. They have done unwanted labor. That's all. Everything has to be surrendered to Bhagwan. Speculative knowledge alone. केवल ज्ञान मुक्ति दीते नारी भक्ते वीना कृष्णोन्मुखे से ही मुक्ति है वीना ज्ञाने. He says just having a knowledge, developing knowledge, and without Krishna bhakti, it will not give you liberation. And then he goes on saying, Krishna nitya dasa jiva taha buri gela e dosha maya tara galaya bandila. If the living entity is bound around the neck by the chain of maya, because he has forgotten that he is an eternal servant of Krishna. In Gita, Bhagavan says, Devi esha guna maya, mama maya gunamayi, mama maya duratyaya, mam evam ye prapadyante, mayam etam tarantite. Bhagavan said, this maya of mine is very difficult to cross. But if somebody comes to me, very easy to come out of this clutches of this maya, which in the if the conditioned soul, therefore he says, Tabe Krishna bhaje kare guru rasevana. How can you come out of this maya? He says, do Krishna bhajan and guru raseva. Do the seva of your guru. Maya jala chute paye Krishna charana. And in this way, you will come out of this clutches of maya and become eligible for shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. And then he went on saying, those who are in the Varnashram Dharma, the followers of Varnashram institution accept the regulative principles for the 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders, but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, he falls into the hellish condition of material life. From the mouth of Brahma, the Brahmanical order has come into existence. Similarly, from his arms, the Kshatriyas have come. From his waist, the Vaishyas have come. And from his feet, the Sudras have come. These 4 orders and their spiritual counterparts, Brahma, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa combine to make the human society complete. If one simply maintains an official position in the 4 Varnas and ashrams, but does not worship Bhagwan, he falls down from his puffed up position. He may think, yeah, I'm a Brahmana and I'm in a sannyasa ashram. That ego will make him fall down. Whatever we do, we were Brahmana because God made us Brahmana. We were born in a Kshatriya home, God made us Kshatriya. We cannot be puffed up for anything. Similarly, there are so many so-called Gyanis who think they know it all. But if they do not have bhakti, that Gyan will only delude them. He says, Krishna Surya Sama. The Krishna is like sun. And Maya, Haya Andhakara. Maya is like darkness. Yaha Krishna taha nahi Maya Radhikara. If Krishna is sun and Maya is darkness, then wherever there is Krishna, can darkness remain? So if Krishna is there in your life, then Maya will go away. But otherwise, Maya will act through all these things that you are following, all your duties, all your dharmas that you're doing. Maya is acting everywhere. But if you are remembering Krishna, Krishna is like the sun, and the sun can take away all the darkness of Maya. कृष्ण तुम्हारा है यदि बल एक बार माया बंदे है कृष्ण तारे कर पारा. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, "My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for many, many long years in the material world, today I surrender unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service." If somebody sincerely says that, he'll be freed from the clutches of Maya. And Bhagwan Ramchandra says in Ramayana, Sakrideva prapannayas tavasmiti iti cha yachate. He said, if somebody seriously surrenders unto me and just says, Tavasmiti, I am yours, my Lord Rama or my Lord Krishna. Abhyam sarvada tasmai dadami etam vratam mama. He says, I will give them fearlessness. This is my vow, Lord Ramchandra says in Ramayana. It is my vow that if one sincerely surrenders unto me and says, my dear Lord, I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time onwards. Mahaprabhu says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Subuddhi Haya Yadi Haya Gada Bhakti Yoge Tabe Krishnera Bhajaya. Due to bad association, the living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into the impersonal aspect of the Lord, or he engages in mystic yoga for material power. If such a person actually becomes intelligent, he takes to Krishna consciousness by engaging himself in intense devotional service to the Lord. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into the existence of Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental service to him. Anya kami yadi kare Krishnera bhajana namagite ha Krishna tera tare dena swacharana. If those who desire material enjoyment or merging into the existence of absolute truth engage in the Lord's transcendental loving service, they will ultimately attain and immediately attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet, although they did not ask for. Krishna is very merciful. Krishna kahe, Ami bhaje, mage vishaya sukha, amrita chhadi vishaya mange, ei bada murkha. Krishna says, if somebody comes to me and he keeps asking for material things, he is only a fool. I can give myself to him, but he's not asking for me. Ami vigna, ei murkhe vishaya kena dibe. But if somebody is seriously loving me and they are keeping me asking all material things, I'm not foolish. He may be fool, but I'm not foolish. I may not give him because I want to induce him to take me. Since I'm very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity instead? I shall induce them. I should induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget this Maya. When someone engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service for the satisfaction of the senses and instead acquires a taste for serving him, he gives up his material desires and willingly offers himself as an eternal servant of Krishna. Samsara भ्रमिते को न भागे के हतारे नदीरा प्रवाहे ये न काष्ठ लगे तीरे. He says the conditioned souls are wandering throughout the different planets in the universe, entering various species of life. By good fortune, one of these souls may somehow or the other be delivered from this ocean of nishines, just as one of the many big logs in a flowing river may by chance reach the bank. Very important thing. When we speak like this looks like third person. some living entity, some living entity, and we think some living entity. We are ourselves the living entity. We have roamed around so many universes, we have forgotten completely. We don't remember yesterday what we did. Forget about lifetimes. We wandered around to find that ultimate pleasure, ultimate happiness. And we forgot that happiness is in Bhagwan. We approach Bhagwan to ask small things, thinking these are going to be my source of happiness. The nature of life is such, material life. Number one, happiness is transient. It keeps changing. Our goals keep changing. We think if we achieve this, we'll be happy. If we achieve this, we'll be happy. But that goals keep changing every day. And we are perpetually unhappy. And we die unhappily. We come back. God gives us one more chance. Take a birth. Fulfill. And God gives us a lot of associations. Out of those associations, if somebody takes it seriously and says, done with this life. I'm here to serve Lord. Whatever work He has given, do it sincerely. Chant Bhagwan's name. Live happily. Go back to Golok. Go back to home. Done with this jail. Bhagwan Krishna was born in a jail. From his example, he has shown that. He was born in a jail. We are all born in a jail. Mother's womb is like a jail. Then he comes and his father takes him in a something, like a basket, but that basket is used for in India, it is used for removing husk from the grains. We call it soup. So his father took him in that soup, meaning all the negativities is husked out. Now it's gone. And then he's going to Gokul. And there he's doing all these beautiful leelas. So we are all born in a jail. We all have our own childhood. And in childhood, we all have our own demons. We fight. And Bhagwan throughout his life kept fighting. So that is how life is. You look at Ram's life, you look at Krishna's life. Fight is a constant thing. But he taught us, even with this fighting, we can liberate ourselves. Born in a jail, but forever free. How? Surrendering unto him. Sarva dharman parityaja, I'll give you that golden ticket. Not born free, born conditioned, gone free. So Krishna taught us the art of living and art of leaving. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to teach us. Surrender unto Krishna. We have taken so many lives. But if somebody surrenders, then just as one of Krishna's name is like, he says, we are born in this ocean of nations, but Krishna's name is like that little log in the ocean. You just hold the log and then you swim out from it. So that little log can save somebody who is drowning. So Krishna's name is like that. It is saving us in this ocean of nations on which we are drowning. By good fortune, one becomes eligible to cross the ocean of nations, and when one's term of material existence decreases, one may get an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. By such association, one's attraction to Krishna is awakened. Oh my Lord, infallible person, when a person wandering throughout the universe becomes eligible for liberation, he gets an opportunity to associate with devotees. Bhavapavargo brahmato yada bhaveja janasya tarhi achyuta satasamagamaha satasangamo yarhi tadaiva sadgatau paravareshe tvai jayate ratihi. This is the quote from Canto 10. So the person, when he gets an opportunity, to associate with the devotees, his attraction for Krishna increases. And since you are the Lord, he gets liberation. Krishna is in everybody's heart as Chaitya Guru. Krishna yadi kripa kare kona bhagyavane guru antaryami rupe sikhaya apane. When Krishna is very merciful, he is inside the heart as a Chaitya Guru. He keeps guiding you, guiding you, guiding you. And when he is kind to some fortunate conditioned soul, he personally gives him lessons so he can progress in devotional service, instructing the person as the super soul within and as the super spiritual master outside. Sadhu sange Krishna bhakti shraddhaya dihaya bhakti phala prema haya samsara yasya kshaya. He says, Mahaprabhu says, sadhu sange, by associating with the sadhus, the saintly person or devotees. Krishna bhakti shraddha yadi haya. Okay. Bhakti phala prema haya samsara yaya kshaya. He says, if somebody gets the association of saintly people, then his bhakti, his devotional service is awakened and the dormant love is awakened. And once the dormant love of Krishna is awakened, then one's material conditioned existence comes to an end. Somehow or the other, if one is attracted to talks about me and has faith in the instructions I have set forth in the Bhagavad Gita, and if one is neither falsely detached from the material things nor very much attracted to material existence, his dormant love for me will be awakened by devotional service. Mahat kripa vina kona karme bhakti naya Krishna bhakti dure rahu samsara naya kshaya. Then Mahaprabhu says, all this can happen only by the kripa of a Mahat Vyakti, means very devotee. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain this bhakti. To say nothing of Krishna bhakti. And if you do not get Krishna bhakti, how will you be liberated from this bondage of existence? So he says, Krishna bhakti will come. How? Two other things go together. One, if you didn't get a guru, keep chanting Krishna's name. Keep chanting Krishna's name. And Krishna is inside your heart. He will make all the arrangements to make you meet with the external guru. And you will see that the doubts will be cleared. And the guru is actually Krishna, okay? Krishna Vande Jagat Guru. Krishna is inside the heart and Krishna is outside in the form of the spiritual master. And Krishna is talking to you from the spiritual master's mouth and giving you that knowledge which will bring him closer to Krishna. That's how Krishna loves you. So Mahat Kripa is very important. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot know what this bhakti is. And unless one knows what bhakti is, how can he go to Krishna? But who does that arrangement? He says Krishna within and Krishna outside. He only makes this arrangement. Naisham mati stavad urukram angrim sparshati anartha apagamo yada artha mahisham padarajo bhishekam nishkinchanam navrintayavat. Unless human society accept the dust of the lotus feet of great Mahatmas, devotees who have nothing to do with material positions, mankind cannot turn its attention onto the lotus feet of Krishna. Those lotus feet vanquish all the unwanted, miserable conditions of material life. Now Mahaprabhu says, he says, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. Most important thing is the association with devotees, saintly person. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kahe. All scriptural injunctions are pointing to one thing. Sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. Association with devotees, saintly persons. Lava matra sadhu sanghe sarva siddhi hai. Says even for a few minutes, if you get the association of a saintly person, sarva siddhi hai. You will get all the siddhis, you will get all the success. Because what is the sadhu going to do? Sadhu has no other topic. You sit with a sadhu, they may behave worldly with you for some time, but later on, their original nature will come out. Sometimes the sadhus don't want to show their original nature. They'll talk to you all nonsense so that you go away, because they do not want to disturb their own peace and silence. But if somebody is really associating with sadhus, slowly every association with them will give you so much. You will learn so much. And if somebody is very lucky, little bit of hearing from the sadhu, it will change them, change their course of life. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of a Lord cannot be compared even to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which is for those who are meant for death. Krishna is so merciful that simply by aiming his instructions at Arjuna, he has given protection to the whole world in the form of Bhagavad Gita. He says in the Gita, Sarva guhetamam bhaya bhuya shrunu me paramam vacha ishto semi dridamiti tato vakshami tehitam. O Arjun, I am giving you all this because you are very dear to me. And this is the most secret of all the knowledge, and literally it is secret. I sometimes wonder, what secrecy? Bhagavad Gita is available, is there in everybody's home, at least most of the people I know. But people have no interest in Bhagavad Gita. House thing which is open in front of you, and it has an answer to all your solutions. Yet it is the most secret book because you cannot understand it. People don't want to open Gita. You tell them anything else, they are very much interested. Oh, we want to hear that, we want to hear that. And I'm like, wow, Bhagwan, you're right there in front of people and people don't want to open and listen to you. Wow, Bhagwan, what a game. No, I mean, your Maya in you. Oh, they want all sorts of knowledge. But Gita is your word. Gita is you. They do not want to. They want Krishna, but they don't want to hear Krishna's words. What kind of love is that? If you love somebody, if they wrote to you some email or something, 10 years later, 15 years later, also, if that letter comes in front of you, you will cry. Oh, this is the letter of my loved one. Here, Krishna is God. People want to hear Vedas and other things, and they want to hear some real weird interpretations where Bhagwan's form is also not there, where Bhagwan is completely taken away. And some intellectual person is talking nicely, and we think, oh, that was great. And I think 4 hour, 5 or 5, how many hours lecture you heard? Did it create that love for God, or you just came out hearing some great lecture? If the love for God is not created, what is the use of that lecture? When you come out, you should fall in love. Because Gita is Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Bhagavan says, I have given you the secret most, the topmost secret knowledge. People are looking for that, the greatest knowledge, the greatest secret. The greatest secret is in your hand, yet you do not want to open. And what is the greatest secret? I'll tell you a very simple word. Because you're looking for the greatest secret. And Bhagavan said, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. People do not want to hear this. People want to hear, oh, some saint was there. He sat down in the river and he was meditating for years and years and years. And then he was meditating topsy-turvy. And then fire started coming from his hair. Then the whole world was burning. You want to hear all those stories and keep dreaming. One day I will be like that. And Krishna made it simple. Arjun, just think of me. Manmanabha. Keep your mind unto me. Let your mind and my mind become one. I am in your mind. In Gita, it says, I am the mind. Arjun, if you have your own mind, then my mind and your mind, we are not in tune. I am your mind. Just know I am going to guide you. Man manabhava mad bhakto. Be my bhakta. You are my part already. Just realize it. Madhyaji, what are you praying and where are you going? I am there. Main hu na. Madhyaji, whom are you praying? I am there. You take all your 10 fingers and namaste, 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 so many devatas, and he's like, I am there. All these devatas are my part and parcel. I have shown you the Virat Roop, the universal form. You do not want to trust it. No, somebody else other than Krishna would be great God. Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. I am telling you, oh my Arjun, because you are my friend. Oh Partha, you are my friend. I always tell this. When he says, oh Partha, I just feel he's telling it to me. Because Parth means Prithvi ka ansh, like somebody who was born out of earth. We are all born out of earth. We are all his part and parcel. And he has said that you are my eternal part and parcel. We are his Arjun. He's teaching, he's talking to us. And he made it so simple, so simple. After going around the world, we just came to that simplicity. Oh my God, it is that simple. And where all we had gone throughout our lives, wasted billions of our births, thinking that there is something higher, there is something more secretive, there is something more. There is no secret. It is so simple. God is not far away. God is right here. God's words are in Gita. What else do you want to hear? God is there with you all the time talking. Every atom is talking about him. Today we did Venu Gita in Bhagavatam class. It took me, I don't know how, I just went on speaking. I'm telling you, I still am not satisfied. I just feel like opening it tomorrow again and starting the Venu Gita. When Krishna is playing the basuri, the flute, the gopis are saying, the rivers are dancing. The rivers are whirling. There's a whirlpool created inside the river. The deers are crying. The birds are dancing. The birds are quiet. The cows are going crazy. The calves, they're drinking milk and they just stop in between. They're stunned. The mountains, they are overflowing with joy and you can see streams of water coming through the mountains. This is the nature. Krishna is that beautiful, filled with sweetness. And that Krishna spoke to us through Bhagavad Gita. Life is useless if we do not know how, if we don't fall in love with Krishna, I'm telling you. That's all I know. Talk to me about Puranas. I just know it. I'm telling you, unless you fall in love, you do not know. You have not even touched it. You don't even know. Loving like the deers of Vrindavan, loving like the birds of Vrindavan. Pure transcendental love. Man mana bhav bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. I am promising you, mam evashyasi satyam te, you will come to me. Pratijano priyosime. Oh my dear one, you are very dear to me. Priyosime, priyosime. When he says priyosime, like something just happens to me. I'm like, oh, he's saying, you are my dear, you are my dear, you are my dear. What else do you want to hear? Krishna saying you are my dear, you are my dear friend. What else do you want to hear? How many times he repeats that in Bhagavad Gita? People think Bhagavad Gita is full of knowledge. I think it's full of love. It's a love letter. How many times he says, Priyosi me, my dear friend, my dear friend. You are my very dear friend. Oh my gosh. Ah. Purva agya veda dharma karma yoga jnana sava sadhi sheshe ei agya balavana. Although Krishna explained the proficiency of executing Vedic rituals, performing fruitive activity as enjoined in the Vedas, practicing yoga, and cultivating jnana. He spoke all about that in the Gita. But this last instruction was the most powerful of all the Gitas. What? Man mana bhavan bhakto. Tune your mind with my mind. He says, Mahaprabhu says, if the devotee has faith in the strength of this order, he worships Lord Krishna, giving up all the activities. And तावत् कर्माणि कुर्विता न निर्विद्यता यावत् मत कथा श्रवणादुव श्रद्धा यावन् नो जायते. In Gita, in Uddhav Gita, Bhagavan says, as long as one is not satiated by fruitive activities and has not awakened his taste for devotional service, how? Mat katha shravanado. If somebody has not gotten the taste for my kathas, till then the faith will not come. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudrida Nishchaya. And what is Shraddha? Shraddha means that faith, unflinching faith, firm faith, firm faith that Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Haya. One, the day that it comes that, okay, and all rituals done, everything done, when if I render service to Krishna, and what is that Krishna Bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing about Krishna's topics 24 hours a day. I'm speaking from 3 hours. I'm telling you, I can go on for 10 hours. Because I know this is the purpose of time. This is the purpose of life. Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all the subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of bhakti. A faithful devotee is truly eligible candidate for the loving service of the Lord. According to one's faith, one is classified into a topmost devotee, an intermediate devotee, and a neophyte devotee. So 3 types of devotees are there: the topmost, the middle one, and the beginner. One who is expert in logic, argument, and the revealed scriptures, and along with that, he has a firm faith in Krishna. Then that devotee is the topmost devotee. He can deliver the world. One who is expert in logic, Shastra Yukta cha Nipuna Sarvatha Drid Nischaya Prauda Shraddho Adhikariya Sabhakta Uttama Mata. शास्त्र युक्ति नहीं जाने दृढ़ श्रद्धावान मध्यम अधिकारी से महाभाग्यवान. Mahaprabhu says, some people may not know the Shastra so much, but yet they have Shraddha, they have faith in Krishna. They are also very fortunate, and they are the second class of devotee, but they are very fortunate. And then there are third class of people who do not know any scriptural argument, scriptures also, and they do not even have firm faith in Bhagwan. And those are the neophyte, the beginners. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte, but by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first-class devotee. One whose faith is not very strong, who is just beginning, and is considered a neophyte devotee. A devotee is considered to be superlative or superior according to his attachment and love. And in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the following symptoms are given. Sarvabhiteshu ya pasyet bhagavad bhavam atmanah bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavatottamaha. A person advanced in bhakti sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And consequently, he always sees the form of Bhagwan as the cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated unto him. An intermediate second-class devotee shows love for Bhagwan, but he is friendly to all devotees, is very merciful to the neophytes and ignorant people, but not like the top class devotee who sees everything is Bhagwan. The intermediate devotee neglects those who are envious of devotional service. The topmost does not feel. He feels everything is a part of Bhagwan. But the intermediate devotee, he'll be favorable towards the bhaktas. With the non-bhaktas, he is not favorable. All these transcendental qualities, he says, a Vaishnava is one who has developed all the good transcendental qualities. All the good transcendental qualities of Krishna develop in Krishna's devotee. All these transcendental qualities are the characteristics of pure Vaishnavas, and they cannot be fully explained, but I shall try to point out some of these transcendental qualities of Vaishnavas. What are the qualities? Bhagavan has described it in Gita, but here he's saying it in Bengali. Kripalu, Akrita Doha, Satya Sarasama, Nidosha Vadanya, Vadanya, Mridu Suchi, Akinchana, Sarvopakaraka Shanta, Krishnaika Sharana, Akama Aniha Sthira, Vijita Sadguna, Mita Bhuka Apramata, Manada Amani, Gambira Karuna Maitra, Kavidaksha Mauni. What is the qualities in the devotees, in the top class devotees? He says devotees are always merciful. humble, truthful, equal to all, faultless, magnanimous, mild, clean, without material possessions, perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful and surrendered to Krishna and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities: lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required and they are not inebriated. They are respectful, grave, compassionate, without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. Devotees are always tolerant, forbearing, and very merciful. Tiktikshvaha karnikaha suridah sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadva sadhu bhushanam. They are the ornaments of devotees who have these qualities. What qualities? Forbearing, tolerant, very merciful, and well-wishers of every living entity. They follow the scriptural injunctions and they have no enemies. So this is what is described in Kapilopakhyan. And he says, again, it is the verdict of all shastras and great personalities that service to a pure devotee is the path of liberation. By contrast, association with materialistic people who are attached to material enjoyment and women is a path of destruction. Those who are actually devotees are broad-minded and equal to everyone and are very peaceful. They never become angry and they are friendly to all living entities. The root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotees is still most essential. This असत्संग त्याग वैष्णव आचार स्त्री संगी एक असाधु Krishna bhakta आर. Mahaprabhu says a Vaishnava should always avoid association of ordinary people. Common people are very much materially attached, and especially to women. So Vaishnava should avoid the company of such people who are very lusty and who are not devotees of Krishna. And then he went on explaining more. He said, by association with worldly people, one becomes devoid of truthfulness. They contaminate you. They make you unclean. You become devoid of mercy, gravity, spiritual intelligence. All these good qualities go away. One should not at any time associate with fools who think they are gyanis, but they don't take you towards God. They only delude you and keep you in this materialism. So avoid such association. One should not even see the faces of those who are bereft of devotional service to Krishna or who are bereft of pious activities. Without hesitation, one should take exclusive shelter of Lord Krishna with full confidence, giving a bad association and even neglecting the regulatory principles of 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. That is to say, one should abandon all material attachment. Bhaktavatsala Kritagnya Sumartha Vadanya Hena Krishna Chadi Pandit Nahi Bhaji Anya. Lord Krishna is very kind to all his devotees. He's always very grateful and magnanimous, and he possesses all abilities. A learned man should not give up Krishna to worship anyone else. Whenever an experienced person develops real knowledge of Krishna and his transcendental qualities, it is quite but natural he will leave up all these material associations and he will start rendering service to Krishna. Uddhav gives evidence to this. Oh, how wonderful it is. Putana, who was a sister of Bakasur, Bhagwan is so kind. She came spearing poison on her breast, but Bhagwan gave her the place of a mother. He is so merciful. Who will not take the shelter of such a merciful Krishna? शरणागतेर कंचिनेर एक लक्षण तारामध्ये प्रवेशेय आत्मसमर्पण. There are two kinds of devotees. Those who are fully satiated and free from material desires, and those who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of God. Their qualities are one and the same, but those who are fully surrendered to Krishna's lotus feet are qualified with another transcendental quality, Atma Samarpan, full surrender without reservation. So Bhagavan says there are two types of devotees. One who is satisfied, but then there is somebody who has surrendered everything. What does that surrender means? Anukulasya sankalpaha pratikulasya varjanam. He says such devotees, they only undertake those things that will be favorable for them to develop their bhakti. Pratikulasya varjanam, they leave things which are not favorable to their bhakti. Rakshasiti vishvasa, they are 100% having faith in Bhagavan. That Bhagavan is taking care of me. They don't even ask, give me something. They know. Every day I'll get up. God has made arrangement for me. All I have to do is work. Simple. Rakshasiti vishvasa, Bhagavan will protect me under all circumstances. They have this strong, firm conviction. Goptitve varnam yatha. He will take care of me. He is my guardian. They have this strong conviction. Atmanikshepa karpanye. This kind of devotees, they fully surrender unto him with all humility. And this 6 steps is called Shadvidha Sharnagati, the process of surrender. The process of surrender. We don't ask anything. We have 100% full conviction. Bhagavan is taking care of me, not even asking anything. Once one whose body is fully surrendered takes shelter to the holy place where Krishna and his pastimes, and he prays to the Lord, my Lord, I am yours. Tavasmi, tavasmi. Understanding this with his mind, that devotee enjoys spiritual bliss. Sharanalaya kare Krishna Atma Samarpana. Krishna tare kare tat kale Atma Sama. The person who has surrendered himself like this to Krishna, Krishna accepts him as his most confidential associate. My dear Sanatan, now please hear about the regulatory principles for executing such a devotional service. By this process, one can attain the highest perfection of love for Bhagavan, which is the most desirable treasure, love for Krishna. The spiritual activities, Shravanadi Kriya, Tara Sarupa Lakshan, one must start with hearing. The spiritual activities of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so forth are the natural characteristics of bhakti. The marginal characteristics is that awakens pure love for Krishna. Pure love for Krishna is actually always eternally established in the heart of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. So the love is there always. You don't have to get it from outside. So what is happening when you're hearing Shravan Kirtanam and Smaranam? The consciousness is getting purified. And when the consciousness is purified, the dormant love is seen. There are 2 processes of practical devotional service. One is regulative devotional service, that is sadhana. And another one is spontaneous love. You are in love with Bhagavan. Those who have not attained the platform of spontaneous love in devotional service, then they have to undergo the regulative principles. What are the regulative principles? It's like no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no infidelity, and then getting up early in the morning, do your sadhana, whatever counts have been given. If you're chanting 16 rounds, 64 rounds, whatever your sadhana, you have to do it. You have to eat properly, eat light, think of Bhagwan. Some activity you have to do every day. So till you get to the level of spontaneous love, this level of spontaneous love is like you're not forgetting Krishna at all. Like the gopis, they are cooking, but their mind is on Krishna. They are going to the market, their mind is on Krishna. Whatever they do, their mind is on Krishna. That is spontaneous love. But if somebody does not have that spontaneous love, then they have to do sadhan bhakti. So these are the only 2 ways of love. one is the sadhan bhakti and one is raga anuraga, like spontaneous love. I shall say something about the various practices of devotional service, which is expanded in so many ways. I wish to speak briefly of the essential practices. On the path of regulative devotional service, one must observe the following items. Now Mahaprabhu is saying what all? One must first accept a guru, then accept initiation, then serve him. Guru Padashraya, Diksha, Gurura Sevana, Sadharma Siksha, Pricha, Sadhu, Marganugama. So one must serve the Guru, one must receive instructions from the Guru and make inquiries in order to learn bhakti. One must follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and follow the directions given by the Guru. The next step is one should be prepared to give up everything for Krishna's satisfaction. Krishna Pritye Bhoga Tyaga, Krishna Tirthe Vasa. One must live in the places where Krishna lived. Yavan Nirvaha Pratigraha, Ekadashi Upavasa. One must live in a place where Krishna is present, in city like Vrindavan, Mathura, etc. One should acquire a livelihood that is sufficient to keep the body and soul together. One must fast on the Ekadashis. One should worship banyan tree, the dhatri tree, the cows, the brahmanas, and devotees of Lord Vishnu. One should avoid offenses against holy name and the saintly people. One should give up the company of non-devotees. One should not accept too many disciples. One should not partially study many scriptures just to be able to give references and expand explanation. So this is also too much. Like people keep reading just to prove their point, but one should not engage in that also, because Krishna Bhakti, because when you are reading books to prove your point, then it may again create ego. So that is why. The devotee should treat loss and gain equally. The devotee should not be overwhelmed by lamentation. The devotee should not worship any other devatas, nor should he disrespect them. Similarly, the devotee should not study or criticize other scriptures. The devotee should not hear Lord Vishnu or his devotees blasphemed. The devotee should avoid reading or hearing newspapers, mundane books that contain stories of love affairs between men and women or other subjects palatable to the senses. Neither by mind nor words should the devotee cause anxiety to any living entity, regardless of how insignificant he may be. After one is established in the devotional service, the positive actions that should continue is hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, serving, accepting servitorship, becoming a friend and surrendering fully. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pujanam, Vandanam, Paricharya, Dasya, Sakhya, Atmanivedan. One should also dance before the deity, sing before the deity, open one's mind to the deity, offer obeisances to the deity, stand up before the deity and the spiritual master just to show them respect. Follow the deity or spiritual master and visit different places of pilgrimage or go see the deity in the temple. One should circumambulate the temple, recite various prayers, chant softly, chant congregationally, smell the incense and flower garlands offered to the deity, eat the remnants of food, prasadam. One should attend Aarti and the festivals, see the deity, be present whatever is dear to oneself to the deity, meditate on the deity, and serve those related to the Lord. Tadiya means tulsi leaves. The devotees of Krishna, the birthplace of Krishna, and the Vedic literature Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is very eager to see his devotees serve Tulsi, Vaishnavas, Mathura, and Bhagavatam. One should perform all endeavors for Krishna. One should look forward to his mercy. One should partake of various ceremonies with devotees and ceremonies like Lord Krishna's birthday or Ramchandra's birthday. One should surrender to Krishna in all respects. One should observe particular vows like Kartik Vrata. And these are some of the 64 important items of devotional service. One should associate with devotees and chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura, or worship the deity with faith and veneration. These 5 limbs, the 5 limbs are chant the holy name, hear Bhagavatam. First is associated with the devotees. association with devotees, chanting the holy names. Out of all the things, I think these are the doable ones. Association, satsanga, 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 chanting, reading Bhagavatam, residing at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration. One of the things you must take it seriously. Even a slight performance of this 5 awakens the love for Krishna. With love and full faith, one should worship the lotus feet of the deity. One should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of pure devotees, and one should associate with the devotees who are more advanced than themselves, who are endowed with similar type of affection for the Lord. One should congregationally chant the holy name of the Lord and try to reside in Vrindavan. The power of these 5 principles is very wonderful, yet difficult to understand, even without faith in them. If a person is doing it, the dormant love for Krishna will be awakened, and with just a little bit of connection. When one is firmly fixed in devotional service, whether he executes all these processes or just one, the waves of love of Godhead will surely awaken. There are many devotees who execute only one of these processes, maybe just chanting, or maybe just hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, or maybe just hearing a satsang daily. One of these is more than enough. He said that benefits, yet there was Amrisha, King Amrisha, who did everything, all of this together. He was always engaged, Maharaj Amrisha was always engaged with all his 11 senses in worshipping the lotus feet, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, going to the temple, offering prasadam to saintly devotees. All these things he was doing. If a person gives up all material desires and completely engages in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, as enjoined in the revealed scriptures, he is never indebted to any of the demigods, sages, or forefathers. Although the pure devotee does not follow all the regulative principles of Varnashram, he worships the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, he naturally has no tendency to commit sin. If however, a devotee accidentally becomes involved in a sinful activity by mistake, Krishna takes care of it, purifies his sin. Bhagavan says, for those one who is fully engaged in my devotional service, whose mind is fixed in me in Bhakti Yoga, the path of speculative knowledge and right renunciation is not very beneficial. And my dear Sanatan, I have already told you, I have described the detailed devotional service according to the regulative principles. Now hear from me about spontaneous devotional service and its characteristics. He said the original inhabitants of Vrindavan are very attached to Krishna spontaneously in devotional service. Nothing can be compared to the spontaneous devotional service, which is called Ragatmika Bhakti. So this was all Sadhan Bhakti till now. Ragatmika is like the gopis, natural. He says, the primary characteristics of this love is deep attachment, like Yashoda had for Bal Gopal, or Sakhas had for their Krishna Sakha, like that. So thus devotional service in this way consists of raga or deep attachment, and this is called as ragatmika, spontaneous loving service. If a devotee has this already, it is considered to be most fortunate. If one follows in the footsteps of inhabitants of Vrindavan, out of such transcendental covetousness, he does not care for injunction of the Shastras, and this is the way of spontaneous love. There are 2 processes by which one may execute this Raganuga Bhakti, external and internal. When self-realized, the advanced devotee externally remains like a neophyte and executes all the sastric injunctions, especially those concerning hearing and chanting. But within his mind, in his originally purified self-realized position, he serves Krishna in Vrindavan. In his particular way, he serves Krishna 24 hours, day in and day out. The advanced devotee who is inclined to spontaneous loving service should follow the activities of a particular associate of Krishna in Vrindavan, like Gopi Bhav. He should execute externally as a regulative devotee as well as internally from his self-realized position. Thus, he should perform devotional service both externally and internally. All the inhabitants of Krishna, of Vrindavan, are very dear to Krishna. If one wants to engage in this Ragatmika Bhakti, They can follow either Yashoda Maiya if you want Krishna as your baby. You can follow the friends, Sudama or anybody, if you want to have, or Arjun, if you want to have Krishna as your friend. You can follow the gopis if you want to have the Madhurya form. The devotee should always think of Krishna within himself and choose a very devout devotee who is a servant of Krishna in Vrindavan. One should constantly engage in the topics about the servitor and his loving relationship with Krishna, and one should live in Vrindavan. If one is physically unable to go to Vrindavan, one should mentally live in Vrindavan. Krishna has many types of devotees. Some are servants, some are friends, some are parents, some are conjugal lovers. You can choose any of them and follow their footsteps to awaken that love. If one engages in spontaneous loving service to the Lord, his affection for the lotus feet of Krishna gradually increases. In the seed of affection, there is attachment which goes on by two names, Rati and Bhava. The Supreme Personality of Godhead comes under the control of such an attachment. That by which one can attain loving service to the Lord, I have already described in detail as the execution of devotional service called Abhideya. My dear Sanatan, I have described the process of devotional service. This is the means of attaining the love for God. Whoever hears this description of the process of practical devotional service very soon attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna in love and affection. Thus, we come to the end of this chapter also. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus, we finish the 22nd chapter, process of devotional. This was very self-explanatory. That's why I took it faster. But if still there is any doubt in your minds, please do feel free to ask me questions. Maybe tomorrow's class I can explain. But we have spoken about this in detail in the past also. So I'm taking it as all this faster. Tomorrow we are going to learn about the life's ultimate goal. Life's ultimate goal is love of Godhead. So Mahaprabhu is going to talk about that. We'll hear that tomorrow. All right. So no questions, nothing. Jai Shri Krishna. May all your day and night be Chaitanya mein. Hari Bol, and we'll see you tomorrow.